Hey, what's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? This is Blue Scholar for Life. I used to play this game a lot, and a lot of other games, because I felt like these games somehow brought me joy and happiness, and somehow created hope where I felt like there was no hope. Somehow these games, called gotcha games, gotcha, um, are just like gambling, which they are. There's complete and utter truth in that. These games have not only made people mortgage their homes in order to have this many characters. I fortunately never had my name on any home loan, so luckily I didn't ruin anyone else's life or my family's life with my addiction. But I have over 50 characters, and I don't have the joy in my heart that someone should have from amassing 52 characters in Genshin Impact, especially Zhongli. I mean, with every single one, man. Every single one. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Not this guy, but some others. There are many that I do. I probably spent anywhere in between 20 and I'd say close to $60,000 just on this game. Just one free game. One free game. This game is Faust himself. It is the very epitome of Satan, the very epitome of addiction, the very epitome of weaponized gaming. It's gaming that wants your soul. It wants your soul. It wants 80 hours of your week, so that you can pay your bills and not get sued by Capital One. It takes every bit of your hope away from you because there's no more light at the end of the tunnel. The interest rates on the credit cards are so high, and the yearly subscription fees are so high for the credit cards that you need after you've opened up 3 credit cards, maxed them out, and haven't paid them off. In order to get another card, you have to pay for like yearly fees in order to have like $250 credit. But you gotta pay $100 a year. Yeah. I did it over and over and over again. I opened up 4 cards after one was maxed out. Once I couldn't get the big ones anymore, I'd just apply for the little ones over and over and over again. I lived that way. It's how I bought food. It's how I paid for my gas to go to more paint jobs, to make more work, or to find more work, in order to get more money, in order to pay the credit cards off, in order to keep them cycling. And all I would do was just pay $200 down from the limit of all of the cards. If I had $1,000, all I would do was pay $100 on each of them, so that I could then spend $150 because they would let me go over the limit. It's just a constant circle of digging a hole deeper and deeper, and not even paying attention to the fact that I don't have a ladder to get out of the hole. Not paying attention to shoring up the sides of the hole so that it doesn't cave in on me like it has. No rope pulley bucket system to get myself out of the hole. No one to rescue me. No one at the top of the hole to pull me out. until I found God. I've always known God. I was 3 years old in a bathtub, and I asked my dad. I was like, how come, like everybody else has like this Jesus guy? They have this Jesus guy that lives with them in their heart and helps them through each day. I want that. So, 3 years of age, I did the whole sinner's prayer. Asked Jesus to come into my heart. Asked Jesus to make me a new person and to help me follow his ways instead of the world's ways. And then when I was 12, my dad came home and said, we're moving to Australia. We're moving to Australia. We're going to be missionaries to Australia. Because in the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of Australian schools, they voted to take out all of the musical classes, doning them as, I guess due to maybe number crunches. Maybe they couldn't afford them anymore, and they were like, okay, which classes can we get rid of so that we can still afford to put these kids through the schooling system. So they decided to get rid of music classes, dance classes and music classes. Basically art. A lot of the arts were taken away from them. I don't know why, but so my parents moved over there. We lived there for 7 years. My parents would work with churches, and they would take all of the students. They would teach them for a while. They would teach them how to worship, and then they would grab a couple of the most talented kids in the group, make them leaders, and then they would move on. And it's kind of what they would do. And then they would also, obviously preach on Sundays in different churches and do youth meetings and different youth events. But then when I came back here to America to go to college, it was, I think, more of a culture shock to me than moving to Australia. I came back here, a 19-year-old boy that had absolutely no experience in the world of America. And so it swallowed me whole. I mean, just like Jonah, it swallowed me whole. It took me in, put me under its wing, and taught me the ways of the world. And so for 25 years of my life, I was gotcha'd. I was gotcha'd by things way worse than this game. Way worse than this game. I went through the gotcha drugs. I went through the gotcha alcohols. I went through the gotcha loans. I went through the gotcha cars. I went through the gotcha used cars so that I could deliver pizzas to make more tips. And then everybody stopped tipping, and eventually I had no car, no money, no house, and no tips. Because everybody felt like ranch should be free. That's not a joke. That's why gas is so expensive. Look it up. It's because people got free ranch for decades. I'm just kidding. Don't get locked into games like this. These games that are free, they're not free. They if you have thousands of dollars, you'll enjoy the game, and but I don't enjoy this game more than somebody who plays it who is not in debt. In fact, that person is enjoying life more than I am. I used to call myself a whale and all these things. I used to boast about the fact that I spent all of my money and plus what money I didn't have on this game, and the notoriety of having these characters. I haven't played this game in months. I'm totally free from it. I'm totally free from alcohol. I'm totally free from addiction to most of the drugs that I used to completely shower myself with. I rely on one thing that keeps me away from everything else. And it's reading the Bible every morning and staying hopeful that today I will not relapse. Today I will be happy. Today I will be strong. Today I will look at myself in the mirror and I will say, you know what? I don't care. I can make it through today. God can free you from addiction. God can free you from drug addiction, a gambling addiction, porn addiction, OnlyFans addiction. He's the great Savior. He's the great rescuer. He's the great counselor. He's the great confidant. He's the one who will never judge you. Therapists will judge you up and down. You know why? Because they're making money, and if they're not judging you, then you might leave and not pay them anymore. But he doesn't accept any Venmo. He doesn't accept any checks. And you don't have to give money to a church, believe it or not. You can actually read in the scripture and find that out, that you don't have to give any money to anyone, but you do have to give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. That's your taxes. And you do have to give to God what is left over after you've sustained yourself. And essentially, he sustains us. We don't sustain ourselves. So in order to continue be sustained, we must honor him and respect him and at least acknowledge him. While I wasn't acknowledging him were some of the hardest times in my life. And I'm going to tell you the truth again, now that I have been acknowledging him, it's not any easier. That's not what you acknowledge him for. You don't acknowledge him to make life easier. You acknowledge him so that the tougher life gets, you don't give up. This is the misconception that most non-believers have, is that if I believe in Jesus, I have to give stuff up. I have to promise not to do stuff that I used to do. I have to completely change in a millisecond. I have to be transfigured immediately, looking, acting, breathing, and praying exactly like Christ did. This is a misconception. It's a huge, purposeful misconception, because as you internalize that, you find hopelessness in that you cannot change, and you cannot be transfigured, and that you cannot find hope. You cannot experience joy. You cannot experience happiness. None of this brought me any happiness. None of it. None of it does. So, if you're addicted to this game, or you're addicted to something else, it doesn't matter what it is. Reach out to Jesus. His name is very powerful, Jesus Christ's name. If you use it in your prayers and your requests for help in this matter, I guarantee you, if not within minutes, or within hours, or within days, you will have an answer to your request. you will have an answer to your request. Don't play this game. Don't do drugs. This broadcast was brought to you by Koor Hard Gaming. I play mostly Souls-like games. Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring. I try to play a little less of the demonic bosses and the demonic things, and I try to kind of tone things down a little bit. Play a lot of Lies of P. But please join me this week. I'll be doing number 54, 55, and 56 of the run-through of New Game Plus on Lies of P. That's right, 52, 53, and 54. New Game Plus, 52, 53, and 54. Choose God. Don't choose the devil. Choose love. Don't choose hate. Choose yourself. That's fine, but choose others more often than yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of others more often. Be kind to yourself. Be kinder to others. You have no idea what they're going through. You could say one thing that will make them not slit their wrists tonight, or you could say one thing that will make them slit their wrists in front of you. Be good. Be peaceful. Have a good day.